Good morning, Seth.
Hey, good morning, Amy. Hi, everyone. It's good to be together here, both of us on the midweek update again. And I wanted to first off just share what a joy it was to be with our junior high youth at National Junior High Conference, as well as a heritage trip. Amy, it was good to have you there with us as well in some leadership roles. And um, I wanted to also say that this Sunday, the junior high are going to share about that trip in worship, reflect in a number of different ways around the theme, uh, let your gentleness be known. So we look forward to the different ways that they're going to share. We had some really good time on our return trip home to talk about it, talk about some of their different reflections, things they're excited to share. And so really look forward to that on Sunday.
hmm And then on Sunday afternoon, we will gather together at 2 p.m. to remember the life of Susie Townsend. The visitation is at 1 o'clock in the narthex, and there will be a family meal offered for the family at noon. So there'll be a lot of scurrying about to set up for all of that right after worship on Sunday.
Hmm.
And then on the next day, on Monday, June 30th at 6 p.m. in the Timbercrest Chapel, and it's open to everyone, not just our Timbercrest folks. We're going to have a little time, a conversational time with our two annual conference delegates, Megan Sarber and Chuck Bell, about the ballot, about new business, old business, anything that you have some questions about. I have a simple handout that is available. We can send out electronically, or you can pick it up Sunday morning, and they will be available Monday evening. So we hope that folks will show up for that and have a good conversation.
Yeah, we're grateful for our delegates and their willingness to uh, take the time, opportunity, always when there's different kinds of business and things going on. It's helpful opportunity for our congregation to help inform them in the ways that they might represent us and different insights that they can carry with them and help also just empower them and provide any other information that we all have for them to take on our behalf to annual conference. Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, on the note of annual conference, I will be attending, so I will not be here July 1st through July 6th. I would really love it if you're going to annual conference, just let me know so I can be looking for you.
Hmm. Hmm. And also want to let people know that this coming week is youth camp for senior high school youth. And so I will be counseling again in leadership. And so I will be at Camp Mac through that week, starting Sunday afternoon through Saturday, July 5th. So I will be up at Camp Mac with our youth. So I'm looking forward to that time together. Amidst all of these things, Amy, that are happening in the summer, uh, we are doing this uh, envisioning time, which is really for those that attended. This might be a repeat, but those that haven't, this is just another part of the process. But it's really helping to inform the envisioning team that we've created now uh, after we've had some of these recommendations and times where we got feedback through time with Greg Davison Lazakovich. And now we're just taking some time to talk about, you know, three different pieces of identity and mission and outreach through the summer. And if you want to be a part of those, you can. This isn't the grand unveiling of some kind
Right.
of envisioning process or the part of the process that you're deciding what we're going to do and what we're not going to do with any recommendation. It's just for the added benefit of helping inform the envisioning team to work on some of these recommendations. And they wanted a bit more information from the congregation. And we started to get that information in a couple of different ways. And I just want to share my computer to let you know that there's kind of an opportunity, two different ways that you can take part. And I'll share the first opportunity that you can do in person is on Sunday. Here, we'll still have these papers out from our time together that Kristen Short led for us. And if you want to doodle some notes on here because you weren't able to be here on June 15th, there's these two questions. Who are we as a congregation, and how do we identify or describe ourselves? You could write a response here in one of the open spots. You see these different stars here or circling. You could just, it's kind of like putting a little emoji or something there. If you want to just recognize, lift up that you agree or resonate with one of these, or you think this is an important thing for our envisioning team to think about when we think about identity and what what we might do with that. So there's different sheets like this, and you can see again people have added their little asterisks and stars and underlining and circling. So you could just do that, or you could write something new in one of the blank spots. Or if you're not going to be here in person, maybe you joining us online, or you're just not going to be here physically, attached in this midweek update, and it'll be in the newsletter for the next few weeks, is going to be a link to this online Padlet that we are using. And some folks used it the day that we met on the 15th as well. And it's just an opportunity. Here are the same two questions. Who are we as a congregation? How do we identify or describe ourselves? And there's a couple of different things you can do. One is right underneath here, right underneath those questions, you could come over here to this T, which is text, and then click on here and say, here are my thoughts, and you can write something here. And of course, if you want to make it a different color, you can get crazy and do all that kind of stuff, or highlight it. But all you have to do is click on this text box over here, this T, the big T, and then just click on the thing, and you can do that. There's other things like lines. There's other objects, which are like, see how someone did it, put a star here. So it's kind of just like what I just described in person. You could put a star, or you could highlight what Anita said here. And you could highlight this, and then go over here, and you could underline it, or something like that if you wanted to know that somebody else came through. You don't have to put your name on any of this if you don't want, but you can. Either way. Also, if you look over here to your left, I have put down some of the things that people said in person. And so you can see that this says serve immigrant families, or like to eat together. And you could do the same thing. You could go over here and add your own text to something here, or you could click on this little, highlighter, and you could say, oh, I really resonate with, eating together, and you can circle it like that, right? So if you want to do any of those kind of things, and then you could go to the next one here. You can even zoom in if you want to be able to read stuff better. I'm not going to do all that right now, but you could zoom in on your screen if you want. You can see someone has added already some stuff to these pages. So if you want to take part online, if you want to join in person like this, these are just kind of opportunities that are happening asynchronously from our other gatherings, specifically on identity. And then in July, there'll be other opportunities to talk about the next kind of leading topic. And in August, there'll be another one. But these will be up there, and you could do them anytime through the summer, because the envisioning team will look at all of these at the end of August. So you have some time if you want to take part in those. And if you don't, the envisioning team is glad to take all the data that we have and use that. And then they'll bring stuff back to the congregation. You'll have an opportunity to provide your feedback then. So feel like you can participate and enter into this as you want. But just know this is not the kind of, this process is not the unveiling of some larger envisioning plan or something that you have to take part in at this point if you don't want to. It's just a provide an opportunity if you want to. And the envisioning team was wanting to gather some more information as they look at some of the recommendations that revolve kind of around identity and mission and outreach.
Mhm. I
Anything else with that, Amy?
Yeah, I said to the small group that gathered last night that if we look at these questions and we think about right now, who are we right now? And if you described our congregation to somebody and they came for 3 Sundays in a row, um, would they say, I experienced exactly what you said? So we're not looking for aspirational or should or want to be. Who are we right now? We're looking for sort of that close look in. And this information will serve our process together down the road.
Hmm.
It's kind of fun. So
Yeah.
I hope everyone, you all have a voice. We want everyone who has something to say to have the opportunity to say it.
Hmm. And also, feel free to reach out to Amy or myself if you're like, I would like to use that Padlet online tool, but I need a little bit more help. I tried to go on. Just reach out to us and we can help. Also, if you have any other questions about that process, please reach out and we can either answer or connect you with someone, um, who might be able to have more conversation about that.
Yeah, very good.
Finally, Amy, I think we wanted just to mention that there will not be a midweek update next week, as Amy and I will both be away from North Manchester and not having regular access to um, means to do this. So uh, we hope everyone has a good week, that they stay cool as it is really has been heating up, especially the last couple days, but even so into these next couple weeks. So we look
You
forward
can,
to this weekend and our youth. Anything else, Amy?
if you need a little extra cooling, if your air conditioning goes out, and I'm hearing a lot of people who um there's such a drain on the energy grid, come to the church, hang out, read a book in the narthex on the comfy couches, be safe and be comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right,
Be together. Bye, everyone.
bye.